why are we discussing mental health in the first place?
Well, one of the things is it's come much more into highlight post COVID. I think everybody has understood the weightage of mental health, how much it factors into your day to day. People are starting to understand that until and unless you have a robust mental health, you're really not going to be able to do anything, right? And I think our generation has gotten the brunt of it in the sense that we have enough awareness that we're able to point out that something is wrong. We also have a far superior intellectual demand as far as work is concerned and how we turn up in society is concerned. And there is also, I think, a certain amount of responsibility that we hold, that if this awareness has come in, we also need to figure out how to fix it. And the difficulty that I had with it is people love to talk about the wrong aspects of mental health, that oh, you got this anxiety disorder, you have this concentration issue, you have ADHD, you have OCD and everything, but no one really spoke about how to develop robust mental health on a regular before you break down, right? And that was the contrast that came up, because during COVID another thing also started happening is people started to pay a lot of attention to their physical health, right? Nutrition came up as a very big factor where people started to understand how to break down your nutrition, concentrate more on proteins, healthy fats, bring down the carbs, start building body. Strength training became such an important thing, which up to that point no one really paid attention to. So there was a lot of sense of like digestible structure as far as physical health was concerned, but mental health started to cascade into something that was really chaotic, because there was so much information that sort of vomited itself out onto the internet, and so many people kind of became experts. People who genuinely were academicians of mental health also came up, but there were so many other people who were talking about their experiences, and it just became like this conundrum. There's so much information, but how do you structure it and how do you actually utilize it? So then obviously that started to also impact not only me, but then I started to see it affecting my patients. And then I had to come up with something, or at least start working on an aspect where you can break it down into very simplistic steps, which is which are something that you can incorporate in today's life, right? So if you it always felt like there was this big gap where people with good mental health were people who did not have your 9 to 5 jobs, who did not have the normal family structures that you would see in a day to day person. So they had the liberty and the resources to enjoy life in a very different manner. Whereas if you talk about the common man, they're not, they sort of said that this is not a possibility for me. So bridging that gap started to become a bit of a challenge, but at the same time it was a necessity, because you can't just give up and say, okay, no, now I will be mildly unhealthy throughout my life and it's all right. So I think that is where I felt it was important to start addressing this and start to at least ask questions. Is it possible for me to change my life in bits and pieces, understand my mind in a different manner, approach things in a different manner, so that it starts to become less burdensome for me, and allow me to restructure my life in a way that works for me, as opposed to me just fighting with it on a day to day basis. Okay, so आज के दिन मैं कैसे तो भी निकाल देता हूँ, and then I'll see tomorrow morning whether I'm surviving it or not. That was the main purpose of starting to look at this area.